Hey guys, welcome to Game Bad. Today being a video for our favorite weapon series, for our Warzone weapon series as well here. So we're going to be covering the PKP Pecheneg. I'm going to show you how to build this. We'll show you how it handles in a live Warzone game. In a couple scenarios here, you'll be able to see the gameplay in the background. And I'll walk you through one of the solo wins I had with this weapon, which was actually just it's insanely odd solo win that came down to the wire. Just a lot of action that last final couple circles there. I'm going to walk you through what's going through my mind there. But again, this is the PKP Pecheneg. This is the predecessor is the PKM machine gun, which we covered yesterday in one of the blueprint videos. But again, this is the PKP Pecheneg, a further advancement of the PK or the PKM machine gun, which is a Russian light general purpose machine gun. So let's go ahead and jump right in it. I'll show you how to build this weapon. And like I said, we'll look at how it handles in a live Warzone win. So let's go ahead and back right out here. And here we have the final design of the PKP Pecheneg. So first off, let me go ahead and back up. There's a couple different just blueprint builds that I'll show you that I utilize with this. So first off, if I were to go to my, let's go to my armory first off here. So we'll go to the armory for my PKM machine gun. So first off, we have my very old school Pecheneg here that I built way back for our conversion series. So some different attachments on that. And then we have two attachments or blueprints we'll be using to build this gun today are going to be the hedgerow, which we covered yesterday, as well as the baddie we'll be using for this as well. I'll just show you two different builds for this. So first off, what we'll do is go to the built off of the baddie blueprint. Again, you can build this off of any blueprint in the game or even the base PKM, and I'll show you how that looks at with the same attachments as well. But first off, we're going to start with the baddie blueprint. Now these attachments are all going to be the same. Again, this is mainly for Warzone, so I'll show you solos as well as duos, quads, and trios as well. But we're going to go ahead and strip this down. So now we have the base PKM machine gun, just utilizing the baddie blueprint here. So first off, we're going to want the muzzle. We're going to go ahead and do a monolithic suppressor. This is going to assist with the sound suppression and the damage range. The cons here being the aim down sight speed and the aim walking steadiness. And again, this is being in Warzone is going to keep us off of the minimap and keep us suppressed. So we won't show up on the minimap while firing. So we'll go ahead and select that. And then the barrel we're going to want is going to be that 25.9 inch heavy barrel. So this is going to be one of the key attachments to build the Pecheneg. So this barrel is the last barrel you unlock for the PKM. It's going to improve the damage range as well as the bullet velocity. The cons here being the aim down sight speed. But you can see here with this barrel attachment versus any of the other ones here for the PKM, you have that front carrying handle on the weapon there, which is iconic for the PKP Pecheneg on this weapon. So we'll go ahead and select the 25.9 inch heavy barrel. And now we're going to skip out, actually for the laser, we'll do the solo build first. So for the laser, we're going to go ahead and do attack laser. So for this one, we're going to want the ADS speed, aiming stability, and the aim walking steadiness of the pro. Since we do have a machine gun here, pretty heavy with mobility wise, you're not going to be moving very fast, so we want to utilize the attack laser to assist us with that, with our overall weapon movement speed. So the only cons, again, this is visible to enemies only when you're ADSing, so just be careful about where and when you're ADSing, not to give away your position. Now the optic, this is you can do this a couple different ways, which you'll see in the gameplay. The first one is going to be the VLK 3x optic, which I really like. That's going to give you a 3x zoom. Again, this is a really good attachment for this weapon. It really, for some reason, just helps you keep shots on target. It seems to be the perfect amount of zoom to not really feel the recoil that heavily with this one. So I definitely recommend this, and I've used this quite a bit as well. But the one I'm personally have gone back to time and time again, and again, this is my favorite Warzone optic, hands down, for any weapon for the most part, just because the integral hybrid here, the Leopold hammer in real life is what it's called. So you have that 3.25 zoom, and then you have that top-mounted red dot sight. So you're going to be able to toggle between those, as well as we have the aim down sight speed here is going to be the con. But that's going to be the con with any attachment for the optic, just because you're adding extra weight to the weapon. So we'll go ahead and select that. Then the final attachment for the solo build is going to be the underbarrel attachment, which we're going to go ahead and utilize the snatch grip, which is going to replace the Ranger foregrip on this weapon. So the pros here, recoil control, aim down sight speed, the cons being the movement speed for the weapon. Another good option here would also be the Merc foregrip if you wanted to, but again, for this, I've tested them both, and I feel they're very, very similar. However, the snatch grip keeps the first couple shots more so on target versus the Merc foregrip, in my personal opinion and testing. So we'll go ahead and select the snatch grip on this weapon. And that's the final design for your solo build. So this is what we'll be using in the in the video that I'll walk you through, this exact build here. Now, notice with this particular blueprint, we have the black polymer buttstock on this weapon, which is really nice. And then again, the weapon itself is nice, brand new looking. Nice finish to the black, as well as the ammunition box is also black on this blueprint. The only things I don't like about this is that we have the wooden pistol grip as well as the wooden carrying handle, which I really would have liked to see changed to polymer. So for some reason, I really like this, but I want to be more, have a more modernized build of the Pecheneg. The Pecheneg in real life has polymer pistol grip as well as the carrying handle and the buttstock. So we would want all three of those. So this is the one we'll be using, but lately I've been using a lot of utilizing we'll go down to our hedgerow blueprint. So this hedgerow blueprint, again, I covered this blueprint in yesterday's video, so go ahead and check that out. Now, really quick, I'll show you what it looks like in the armory. So this was yesterday's video, the hedgerow right here. So again, you can see the key things here. We have the polymer carrying handle and the pistol grip. So I'll go ahead and back out of this, and we'll go to the actual weapon. So here is the final design for that. So if I were to just deselect my camo here, this is the final design for the weapon utilizing the hedgerow blueprint. Now, if I were to go back to my attachments, you can see if I take off that, we have a black magazine, box magazine here as well that carries the base 100 round magazine of the 7.62 by 54 millimeter rounds here for the PKM or the PKP Pecheneg. So now getting into my duo builds and up, so that I'll use in anything duos, trios, and quads. So this is kind of the blueprint I'm going towards lately. The only problem here is that it has that wooden buttstock, which I think ruins the aesthetics of this weapon for some reason. I wish it was something else. But what we'll be doing is, for this is, first off, we'll build it, and then I'll show you the camo. So for the duo and up builds, we're going to go ahead and get rid of that tack laser. Really, the only change is we're swapping that tack laser for the 200 round belt. So we're going to go from the base 100 to the 7.62 by 54 millimeter R ammunition in 200 rounds. So we're increasing by 100 rounds. This is definitely, I love this attachment in duos and up. You just don't run out of ammo. You can really suppress the enemy with a lot of fire, which is a lot of fun to do. So the magazine ammo capacity, obviously we're increasing. Cons here, ADS speed and movement speed. But to be honest, you don't really notice it that much. You go ahead and put that on. Your other option here is the 150, but that's going to go back to that base green box there, but I personally don't like. And then we also could utilize the wrong turn if we really wanted to. But again, 200 box mag, I like that a lot. Oops, so go ahead and select that. And there we go. So those are the only changes to the attachments I'll do here. Now for the camo, so we don't notice that wooden buttstock that much, I'll go ahead and put on just a woodland camo here. The modern woodland I really like, as well as something like the marshland would work out too. I think woodland looks good on a lot of the Russian weapons. Go ahead and select that, and there we go. We have basically our modernized PKP Pecheneg, and we don't really notice that wooden buttstock. We could swap that out if we really wanted to. So if I were to back out, one other thing you could probably do here for solos specifically would be we could deselect. First off, let's take off the camo. So this would be another solo build, because we're going to take off the suppressor. So one thing we want to do, we'll take off the 200 round box mag. You don't need that for solos. We can get rid of the mono, and we can go ahead and swap out for a stock, and we can do something like a Forge Tac Stalker for aiming stability, or any of these other ones. And I personally think probably the Forge Tac Stalker may be the way to go with this one. I think that would work really well here for solos, as well as your 4 attachments. And then you could also, I guess you could swap in to either a muzzle or perhaps even a tack laser there if you got to run in solos. And that's a really nice build here for solos as well. Now you have an all black, sleek looking Pecheneg. But again, for the duos and up builds that I'll go back to here, we're going to go ahead and do that 200 round. We'll get rid of the tack laser and throw on that monolithic. And then we want our woodland camo on there as well. So here is our duos, trios, and quad build of the weapon, the PKP Pecheneg. And now back to the solo build of the weapon is using the baddie blueprint here. I think it looks really nice too. This is actually, the wooden carrying handle, the pistol grip look really nice on this weapon too. So I can't really complain too much. Now if we were to put a cam on this, just so you guys can see, it's going to do essentially the same thing. It will cover the pistol grip and the carrying handle slightly. But again, I think this one, for some reason, I prefer this one in black just because it looks much more aesthetically pleasing in my mind. But again, this is our solo build right here. So that is the PKP Pecheneg. Let's go ahead now and jump into the solo gameplay for it. Okay, so jumping into the solo gameplay here, we have I already have my PKP Pecheneg. I'm on top of train moving around, and you can see I have a recon mission of my own here, and I spot a recon go up across the street. So basically I'm going to check my heartbeat, see what's going on, if I can spot anybody. So this is a pretty slow game already at this point, but again, that's a dead giveaway. There's someone over. So I'm going to look. I have high ground. I'm looking across, and he's on the roof, or at least that's somebody. I'm not sure if it's the guy that actually had the recon mission, but I'm able to take him out pretty easy. And you can see there, I swapped out from a Chevron Tactical to a different optic there, which makes it a little bit harder to see in some instances at longer range, but regardless. So fast forward a little bit here, I'm fighting this other guy. I had done my recon mission. I spotted him up there already with one of my UAVs, but the problem is he has high ground on me, and he has a sniper rifle, which I do not have. I just have my whatever secondary I picked up and my Pecheneg here. So after we fought back and forth for a little while, but I can't really push that. He has the tactical advantage, so I'm going to fall back. And you can see here the game is whittling down. Now I'm going to check my flank, see if he's following me or not. And I don't see him up there, so he's either down there or he did push me. But checking my heartbeat one more time. Now my idea here is to get another UAV is what I wanted to push for, just so I can see what's going on. And there you can see I just got shot at. Not sure specifically where it came from, but I was able to get some armor and a UAV there and pop it. And here we go. We just have a lot of guys right there, especially one right above me, which I didn't know was there. So I'm assuming, I'm not sure how this quite played out, but I'm assuming it's the one guy that I was fighting with who pushed up, and now he has another guy across from him where I had initially jumped down. So right away I'm in a really bad position here, so I need to get out of there as soon as I can. So my idea here is to do a hard flank and flank back around while that part of terrain is still in bounds. So yeah, I can take some stairs, I can go in the bottom here and take the stairs back up around to where that guy I was initially fighting was, and basically approach that. I cleared that out here. We fast forward, and I cleared that area where I came up the stairs, pushed back across. So at this point, I should be on everybody's flank, and I can hear the fire down there. So at this point, I have this roof to myself, and definitely some of these guys had jumped down at this point, and now I have tactical advantage just because I did a hard flank there. So I have guys on the heartbeat. There's definitely guys over at gas. I can assume where people are. And I hear that guy jumping, so I'm able to get him easily, and I can see he's shooting at somebody in that hill, who it seems like they've been fighting for a while based on the gunfire. So I'm able to get shots on him. He's behind this rock. I down him there, and I'm trying to finish him, but it seems this guy just took a lot of bullets for some reason. Now, keep a note of what that guy looked like. He's going to come back later. So obviously, standing up there like that with that much fire, I got picked off from gas, most likely is where it was. So luckily, I have myself revive. I'm just going to replace my plates, and then I think I need to reload my Pecheneg here because I am out of ammo. So I'm going to reload that. It does take quite a while to reload, so I want to get that done before I drop down, and then I'm in big trouble if I have to switch to my secondary, which I don't think is anything special in this game because I never used it. So here we are. I'm going to check my heartbeat. I'm going to go ahead and drop down, and I'm going to look around just to verify. There was that guy behind that rock that I don't know where he went. And right there, now that I'm watching his back, I did see him over there. But I picked someone else up on my heartbeat here. So I'm going to check it again. And here we go, a guy to my left to what looks like the south. So here we go. We have a riot shield, guys. So how do you deal with riot shields? Is typically you want C4. Draw him out. Now, he stunned me, which was a good move. He underestimated how stunned I actually was and pushed me, and I was able to get him pretty easily. Now, this is just an insane finish right here. Again, very slow game. I'm going to peek here, double check, trying to see where these guys are. Nothing on the heartbeat yet. I'm looking around, and just pay attention here. I see this guy. Now, this other dude just pops up. I don't know how he got there or when, but he got there and popped up. I almost had both those guys in one. So you can see right there, I swapped to my top-mounted red dot on my Leopold, and I swap over for CQC engagements, and then I end up finishing the game right there with a nice 6 or 7 kill dub. And typically I don't teabag like that. I've been trying to get a win with the AMAX gameplay for quite a while there and just ran into horrible luck. So this is actually my first game. I decided I wanted to try something different, and I switched out to a Pecheneg just for fun, and I ended up getting a nice 7-kill win right there. So again, this is the PKP Pecheneg, one of my favorite guns, I think, of all time. I love this Russian machine gun. It was first introduced in 2001 through President. Again, it's a improvement on the PKM machine gun, and it's nice because in real life, the barrel is 25.9 inches. So this weapon matches up perfectly, especially with that carrying handle. But let me know what you guys think down below. I hope you enjoyed the walkthrough for the gameplay. I have some more videos coming for this in the future, mainly for some weapon ideas for attachments for the PKM to turn this PKP Pecheneg into something even more modernized from the base Pecheneg that we covered here. But again, this is Buffner Gaming with our favorite weapon series with the PKP Pecheneg, a light machine gun. And until next time, Buffner Gaming, out.